Thank you. Next speaker is Peter J. Perry. Welcome, Mr. Perry.
Good evening, folks. As a Lee County resident and a frequent Fort Myers shopper, I wish to voice my strong opposition to the proposal to introduce carriage horses to the streets of Fort Myers. At a time when most cities in the United States are ending the use of carriage horses in their communities for both ethical and moral reasons, are we seriously considering the retrograde step of introducing carriage horses to our already overcrowded and narrow downtown streets? Apart from the ethical and moral aspects, this is pure insanity. While it is true that in years gone by this was a normal form of transportation, our environment has changed significantly and horse-drawn carriages are no longer compatible with contemporary city life. To quote from a New York horse-drawn carriages website, slow-moving carriages will add to traffic congestion on already overcrowded streets, causing backups and blocking busy streets, and may cause delays for ambulances and first responders. This traffic congestion is not only frustrating for drivers, the idling cars also increase the amount of car exhaust in the air, polluting the air we breathe. Additionally, the heat and humidity that is normal in southwest Florida creates a difficult and stressful situation for working horses, especially horses pulling heavy-laden carriages. In an attachment that I included in my emails to each of you was an expert opinion on heat stress of horses by Dr. Jennifer Nadeau, equine extension specialist of the University of Connecticut. Well-documented accidents have occurred in recent years involving horse-drawn carriages due to the horses being spooked, heat exhaustion, and collision. Apart from the deaths to many of the horses, personal injuries and deaths have also resulted. Is this avoidable tragedy something we wish to embrace and bring to our downtown city streets? Asphalt Magazine noted puddles of horse urine cause pavement deterioration and resulting in potholes, and the narrow carriage wheels cause rutting, further damaging the roadway. Is that what we want? It is not in the best interest of the City of Fort Myers to amend City Code Chapter 18 by creating Article 10. Please do the right thing and vote no to the horse-drawn carriages in downtown Fort Myers. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you, Mr. Perry.
Thank you.
Our next speaker, Jean Jane. Did I pronounce your last name right, Jane?
Yes, you did.
Thank you. Welcome.
I have thank you. Good evening, and thank you for the opportunity to speak today. As you have already heard many reasons why we are against bringing horse-drawn carriages to downtown Fort Myers streets, I will be brief. The members of Southwest Florida Animal Advocates continue to be vehemently opposed to the idea of allowing horse-drawn carriages in downtown Fort Myers. This is a quote from Dr. Holly Cheever, equine veterinarian. "Spooking can happen to even the best trained and well-mannered horse. There is no such thing as an unspookable horse." Not sure that's a word, but this is a quote. "Nor can the average driver control the horse once he bolts. Horses do not belong on congested city streets. There are numerous documented cases of both animal and human injuries, sometimes fatal, after carriage horses have become spooked. A U.S. survey of national carriage horse accidents revealed 85% of all accidents were the results of an animal being spooked. The temperature chart I have given you is for your information regarding hot pavements. It is from a temperature study done by Marcia Breithaupt of Liberty Home and Pet Services, and it's being used with her written permission. The pavement temperature data was measured on a 95-degree day in June in Naples, Florida. As you can see on the chart, black pavement temperatures hit 140 degrees between 2 and 4 p.m. They exceeded 120 degrees on blacktop between 11 and 6 p.m. Red brick was only about 5 degrees cooler than the blacktop. This chart includes the temperatures of grass, concrete, blacktop, and red brick. So if you are a dog owner, it can also be helpful in determining whether or not a surface is safe for your dog's paws. In conclusion, have a heart, don't even start. Please say no to horse-drawn carriages downtown. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Jane. Madeline Doran. Duran?
Duran.
Is it?
Slowly.
Take your time.
Thank you.
Is it pronounced Duran?
Duran. Yes.
Okay, I stand corrected. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Good
Teresa.
evening, council members. I know that this is a very emotional time for you especially and for our city. That was a beautiful prayer, Teresa. But this is an issue that you have addressed, and as a citizen of Fort Myers for 47 years, I did want to address it. Last time I spoke to you, I talked about the inhumane treatment for the horses, specifically the injuries to their legs, injuries to their respiratory system, the extreme heat and humidity, and last of all, the accidents that can affect the public safety for our citizens. Tonight, briefly, I just want to remind you of a couple of things. At the conclusion of your last meeting, you had some question and answer interaction with one of the vendors. And I just wanted to remind you that you need to consider the motives of the people who come before you. Those of us who oppose horse-drawn carriages have only altruistic motives. We care about animals and we care about Fort Myers. Remember, the vendors get something out of it. They are going to get financial gain if you approve this. And secondly, don't think about what you remember as something as romantic and what you might have enjoyed years ago. Consciousness of people is being raised, and this is inhumane, it is obsolete, and it's not going to enhance downtown Fort Myers. So you know where I stand on the issue. I wish it were possible for you to bring it to a vote tonight, to put this to bed, to stop the staff from having to work on it, because I suspect that you've only gotten opposition through the mail thus far. I want to also let you know how much each one of you is appreciated, and I really empathize with the challenges that you have. I think you are handling it beautifully. I'm very proud of the Fort Myers Police Department, the Fire Department, and all of the first responders. As a citizen, I want to thank each one of you from the bottom of my heart.
Thank you, Mrs. Duran. Beautiful. Elise Montgomery. Welcome.
Well, I've been busy this week. I've been collecting signatures, and I've gotten in 8 days, I've gotten 2,752 signatures, Mayor, that say that we don't want horses. We don't want carriages, we don't want horse carriages, we don't want anything to do with it. I also want to bring it to your attention that when you're downtown and it's hot, if you're hot, they're hot. They don't have any special cooling system going on that you don't have. They're just as hot as you are. If you're drinking water, they're drinking water, or they should be. And unfortunately, water translates to urine. So as the horses are going down the road and the people are all eating and everything, guess what? And you can't not give them water or they're going to die. And that brings up liability. So if, out of curiosity, because I'm dying to know, if a horse gets spooked and it kills somebody, who's liable for that? Are my taxes going for that? Because I'm not really feeling the love on that, because that's going to be a lot of money if some horse runs down some little kid someday. The second thing, or the third thing, whatever, all I could think about when I heard about ZombieCon was, thank God I didn't go and collect signatures. But the second thing I thought of was, what if we had had horse-drawn carriages and one of them had spooked after it heard that gunshot? Because we're not like New York. There's not a lot of backfiring. There's not a lot of that going on down here. What would have happened with all those people? Because I can guarantee it would have been bad. That horse, I don't know, how many could it have killed? Takes off, there's 50 people in front of him. You don't know. There's no way to know. But bad things happen. Bad things happen when you have horse-drawn carriages in your city. Look at New York, look at South Carolina, look at Atlanta. Everyone's trying to get rid of them. We have an opportunity to get it before it starts. Save ourselves the money, save ourselves the aggravation and the grief, and save my crying, because I really don't want horse-drawn carriages here. It's a bad idea. Thanks.
Thank you, Ms. Montgomery. By the way, if you need a job getting signatures for various petitions, there's people that will hire you.
If this doesn't get voted on tonight,
I'm very impressed.
and I have more time, I will double it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Stephanie Palacios.
I don't think we can stop.
One more.
Hi, thanks for having me. I'm here also in relation to the horse-drawn carriage proposal. Not only is it bad for the horses, but also for people. When horses are of no use anymore, they're sold to slaughter, which their meat is then going to Canada. Also, their ears are very sensitive. Any alarming sound will set them running, kicking, and trampling people, and they have been known to trample people to death in New York City. Also, we all know how erratic the drivers are in Southwest Florida. Yeah, if you drive around every day. Well, imagine seasonal time, when we have a lot of snowbirds and all that. They may cause accidents with the horse carriages. Also, the drunk people that get out of the bars at night, that mixed with the horses is just horrible. And also the safety of the people. Oh, and horse feces. They do poo a lot, and it doesn't smell good. So I don't know about you, but I wouldn't want horse feces, while I'm out walking downtown Fort Myers. And also, if they're not given a lot of water, they do get heat stroke. They've been known to die, just drop dead out in the streets. Also, the weather, it's horrible. It's so hot here, it's unbearable in the summertime most of the year. It's so humid. It's not meant for horses here. It's not like the old cattle days of Fort Myers. And that's about it.
Thank you for
Thank
your
you.
testimony.
Have a nice evening.
Too.